Lads, I made 30 different pixel art creations in 30 days, with each art piece being different from the last and all varying in skill, difficulty to create and how good they are, because trust me, some are quite terrible. We're going to go through the 30 days and evaluate what I did or didn't learn about pixel art, and then come to a conclusion on if I think it helped in my quest to improve my pixel art skills. So let's jump into the video. Hey guys, Blakey here and welcome back to another video. Now before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you for 700 subscribers. I massively appreciate the support on the channel, and let's keep pushing for that 1k mark. We are not that far off now. Also, I do want to say that these 30 days were consecutive for all but the last few days, as I had some things come up which stopped me from doing any work, but apart from that, almost all of the days were one after another. So how did I decide on what I was going to draw every day? Well, there is this brilliant community known as Pixel Dailies, in which this account presents a different theme every day for those who want to participate to draw something around this theme. And the reason I like this so much, as being confined to a theme limits what you can draw, almost forcing you to work inside boundaries, which ironically can help you produce your most creative work yet. To be completely honest boys, I was let off quite kindly on the first day, as the theme for day one was billboards. This gave me an easy scapegoat to go and use straight lines and not have to do anything too hard, so I could, for the first day, pretend my pixel art skills were not awful. And to be honest, I'm happy with day one in hindsight, even if there are a few artifacts here and there, but we'll ignore those lads, we'll ignore those. Day 2 and 3 contrasted from each other, as one was lamps and one was water slides. Both required me to use curved lines, and the holy grail of me, pixel art and curvy lines is not something you ever want to see combined, trust me. But hey, I mean, parts of both themes looked okay, and I think you could probably work out what object they are if you know, maybe like squint and tilt your head slightly, who knows. Day 4, I just want to point out on its own, because it came out quite funny. I don't know why it is, but the end result just is it's a bit odd. Basically, the theme was Mohawk, and I ended up making some weird ass mad scientist type man with a fire looking mohawk, honestly. But his chin and cheekbones and stuff just do not line up properly, and also he has no forehead. It just goes from eyes to hair in about 5 pixels. Pixel art numbers 5 and 6 are weirdly both some of my favourite pieces I made across the whole month, even though again, both contrasted from each other in terms of themes. But this did teach me a lesson about pixel art, and that is what you need to spend more time drawing things around your weaknesses. And you see that more clearly later in the video. As you can see, the workshop art piece is primarily simple lines and came out much better than the wildlife piece. Even though I am really happy with that one as well, it was quite tough to build the foundations for at first and kind of work out the right scaling, as I didn't want to have one big ass butterfly just kind of chilling on like some small leaf. As you know, that's just not how proportions work. Oh boys. It does indeed go very downhill very quickly from here. The theme for day 7 was something I had never heard of before. Call me uncultured if you like, I don't care. But the theme was this word. It was this word. Still not sure what it is, but essentially it's like a type of vampire, I think. I don't know. But long story short, I absolutely butchered it, and any child from a primary school in England could do a better job. Swiftly moving on. Day 8 and 9 had me drawing more simple things, which gradually helped me improve small aspects of my pixel art skills, even if I weren't very happy with either. Number 10 and 11 were again some of my favourite pieces from the challenge, and I used both days as an opportunity to learn and understand more about shading. The themes were Cog and Life Boy? I think that's how you say it. We'll see. Both simple objects that allowed me to use shading to make it look much more harder to make than it is. Now here's another lesson that I learned. Shading and doing it in the right way is extremely important in making your pixel art look realistic and 3D. Because without it, my art looks quite flat, and you know, we don't want that. Day 12's theme was Halo, which gave me a cool opportunity to study the helmet from the games a bit more, as I wanted to create that in pixel art, and it was quite fun. I didn't really learn anything, but yeah, it was cool nevertheless. Similar to day 12, day 13 was just also simple and didn't really require me to do any really hard pixel art, as all I needed to do was make a magic wand, and to be honest, I'm quite happy with it. It's simple, but the style in the end somehow has some depth to it, so I'm not sure how I pulled that off, but I will not be complaining. But I mean, it is a stick. There's only so good you can make it look. Day 14's theme was spring, and I wanted to use this as a chance to work on my trees, as I hate making them in pixel art, as they always come out looking like an afro and just have absolutely zero depth. So I tried to add multiple layers and some other cool pixel art stuff, and honestly, I think it came out pretty nicely. I like the detail to it, and it actually fits the aesthetic I was going for, so that is always fun. Now, day 15, yes, not so much. It is supposed to be a biscuit tin, but I think the colours are just too similar for anybody to realise, and that was where I failed here. So if you want to take some more advice, make sure your colours contrast enough to make it clear what you're making, because clearly this is not. But hey, I'm just showing you what not to do, so you know. So you can thank me later. Day number 16, I thought was actually quite good. Not one of my favourites, but above average. The theme was star, so I made a shooting star in which I managed to blend different shades of blue quite nicely to simulate that the star is moving, and I mean, hey, it worked. This is one of those examples where using shades of the same colour actually does fit the theme right, if you do it correctly. Or maybe I'm wrong, and you can never tell that this is supposed to be a star, who knows at this point. I'm trying to group these together so I don't bore you guys with a lot of waffling, but it's really hard when they're just so different from each other. Exhibit A. Day 17's theme was carbohydrates, in which I decided to draw loads of different foods that have high level of carbs in them. Now obviously there is no similarities between this and a shooting star, so you know, I kind of have to split them off in some way. Swiftly moving on from day 17, as there's really not much to say about it. Day 18's theme was Blossom. I used this theme to again try to produce art that has depth and gives the illusion that it's 3D. So I made this pink leaf / tree thing that has berries around it and stuff, using light and shading to create a piece that isn't just a flat texture, even though technically it is. A lesson that is vital that I learned from around this point in the challenge is try and visualize where the sun is in your image, as that can help you decide what needs to be in shade and what is being lit up more than everything else, which helps create that realism we are looking for, even if I can't quite achieve it myself. But hey, coaches don't play. In the end, this was one of my favourites from the challenge. I don't know why, I just love the aesthetic of it. Day 19's theme was Lucky, so I thought out of the box and made a casino machine that has 777 written on it. As you know, that's lucky. I made use of the skills I'd picked up over the last few weeks to create dents in all of the inner edges to simulate depth and multiple layers and all of that technical stuff, and added shadows to buttons and other stuff like that. Only things that us highly professional artists will understand, you know. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool theme. I enjoyed this one. Day 20 was a sculpture, which meant I needed to try and create another 3D piece. But by this point in the challenge, I was much more comfortable with doing so I was happy to just crack on and just play around with it until I was happy with it, using the skills I've been building and just putting them into practice. Now day 21 was vastly different, as the theme was a kitsune, and after doing research to find out what the hell that is, I wanted to make like a big, colourful, abstract piece, and honestly, this might just have the best aesthetic of the whole challenge. It came out so cool, and it was just nice to take a break from making bad 3D art and actually using a ton of different colours. Right, back to just about keeping my head above the water. We had the theme topiary, you know that word, which is like grass bushes trimmed to make shapes and stuff. Not something I'm ever planning on doing, but you know, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, I just made a bush swirl around this long wooden stick, and to be fair, it actually came out quite well. I did have to restart this one a few times, which gives me another piece of wisdom to pass on, and that is, don't be afraid to start again. You are in no rush to finish, just make the best thing you can make, as it's really the only way you're going to improve. Day 23 and day 24 were both quick and simple pieces. The themes were piercing and paperwork, and for both I just made simple 2D pixel art, as sometimes simplicity is key and it does just work better. Sometimes it is better to just work within your limits to make the best thing you can do. Both were average, simple and easy, as you can see. Day 25's theme was Handsome Cab, which was basically a horse-drawn carriage back in the 1800s. This piece, I'm not going to lie lads, I kind of butchered it. My ultimate weakness in all art forms is animals. Oh my lord, I cannot make an animal to save my life. Luckily, I made this piece as a silhouette, so I didn't have to implement any shading or anything like that. So for what it's worth, it looks somewhat like a horse. Maybe a horse that has some body deformations or something. But like I said, I'm glad it came up, as it's important you face your weaknesses in any form of art or game dev or anything. Day 26's theme was Damn. And not like damn, but damn. Not the other damn, only damn. Glad we cleared that up for any confusion. This piece was again quite simple and low res, but I still didn't want to come at it from a complete 2D angle. So we went for a top-down isometric type vibe, except it's not completely isometric, but it kind of is. Kind of. Let me know in the comments. Can you tell that this is a damn? because I'm kind of 50-50 about this one. Day 27 was the theme of red, which gave great freedom, and I decided to make a red gem that you kind of see in games and stuff like that, as I think pixel art gems look so cool with all the reflections and refractions and all that stuff, and also it would be something cool to learn. With all the different shading and reflections, I think it came out very nice, and I don't think it would have been as good if it was at the start of the 30 days, which I guess shows I should have made progress, right? On to the last few days. Day 28's theme was a rug, so I went Aladdin style and made that boy fly, with some cool little mountains behind it as well. There's not much to say about this one, it came out fine, what I would expect after making pixel art every day for the past month. Day 29 gave us the theme of Pokemon, and if you think I'm drawing anything other than a Pokeball, you are crazy. You cannot go wrong with a circle and some shading to make it look 3D. On a real though, this was another good opportunity to combine shading with curved objects and came out very good considering. Also, the aesthetic of a Pokeball will just never be top, let's be real here. And finally, day 30, the final day of the month. The theme was boiling. So I made a boiling hot pot you see on a stove and in cooking areas. What I found interesting about this one is that it combined a lot of the techniques I'd used in past days and made this one quite easily, and it came out very well for me. Which I think that shows that these 30 days have helped me learn a lot about pixel art and how shading, whereabouts your light sources, different angles, ensuring perspective is realistic, and many other small technical details like that can make or break a kind of piece you're building. I would say the most important thing I learned is about shading, and definitely where to place shaded areas, because it can really finish the piece you're making and upgrade it massively with just a few different pixels. It's crazy. But lads, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed and turn the notification bell on to stay tuned with future uploads, as I was working on it for like over a month now. But anyway guys, I will thank you all very much for watching today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.